Welcome to Moultrie Technical College, and we're here at the Tifton campus at the STAT Lab. And a lot of people don't know, what in the world is a STAT Lab? Well, it's a Surgical Technology Academy Training Lab. And what we do here is we bring in surgeons and other medical personnel to learn specialized skills in the surgical field that are not available in many other places. And we're one of the only facilities of its kind in the southeastern United States, and certainly in the state of Georgia. And I'm here with Sherry King. Sherry is our surgical technology instructor, and Dr. Michelle Daniels, a podiatric surgeon from Douglas and Fitzgerald. So welcome. Dr. Daniels has done some training here on our campus, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her experience there. But Sherry, tell us what you do here in the STAT Lab.
Okay. Moultrie Tech saw a need to add a STAT lab to our facility because our surgeons and other surgical team members were having to travel such a distance to receive training. Either updates on their present skills or either learning new techniques. And we want them to be able to deliver those techniques to their patients in a safe, precise manner. And in order to be able to do that, they needed to have a lab nearby where they could come and do training on cadaveric tissues, cadavers, so that it would be very real-like, like human tissue, so that it would very well simulate what they would be doing with their patients. And so now, instead of having to travel out of town, be out of the office for several days and miss, taking care of their patients to do this, they can come locally, be here for a half day or a full day, and then go immediately back to their practice to be able to deliver those skills.
So it is an asset, it's a time saver, it's a money saver, and it's what an asset for the state of Georgia, and especially for Tifton to say that Moultrie Technical College is the home of such a facility.
Right, because there's not another lab even in the state of Georgia that's like this lab. So not only do we hope to draw the physicians that are nearby our area, but certainly across the state of Georgia, across the southeastern United States, and possibly eventually even out into other areas.
Well, talk to me a little bit, Sherry, about some specific training that they may come in. I've heard you talk about specific joint procedures and things like that. Tell us a little bit about that.
Right. If a biomedical company were to have, for example, a new prosthesis, a new knee replacement, then procedure, they could come in here and bring surgeons in here and train them on how to do that new procedure or to use that new prosthesis, and then those surgeons could learn that before they actually, of course, go out there to deliver those to patients. So
okay, and so all of this training, if you want to come in and have this type of training, how does a surgeon or a team come in and do that through Moultrie Tech's Economic Development Department?
Typically, they work through the representatives from the companies who sell the prosthetic devices or sell the items that will be used. They work through them, and the reps get in contact with us and say, I'd like to bring a doctor or doctors in to do the training, and then we just set it up and go from there.
So we are providing the facility.
Right.
And it is state of the art. Tell us about some of the things that we're seeing in here.
Okay. We're able to actually accommodate up to 27 to 30 surgeons depending on what procedure's done. We have basically, I guess you could say, all the bells and whistles, all the latest in technology. There are television screens, monitors that are on the walls, and those are basically projecting what's being done at the master station.
Okay.
The master station right behind us is where the surgeon or the rep who's doing the training would be at that station, and then that could be projected to all other participants in the room so that they can see. We have the ability to burn the DVDs from those so that they can take that home with them if they wish to review that. We have an adjoining classroom where we can actually do some lecture exercises in there before we come into the lab to do those things. It can also supplement that. So it definitely has everything that a high-tech lab should have available to these surgeons and reps when they come in for training.
And right here in South Georgia.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
who knew,
Not
right?
something you expect to find
That's right.
in our area.
That's right. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about the lab itself?
I'd just like to mention that Moultrie Tech also has a surgical technology training program, of course, and we do train surgical technologists, what lay people would call scrub techs.
Right.
And right behind us, we have some of our current students, and we're able to also utilize this lab as a method to provide them more clinical experience, meaning that when surgeons come in, our students will have an opportunity to see some of the newest and latest procedures that are being done, even before some of them are being done in the local ORs.
Wow. So
a
our
wonderful opportunity.
our credit program students
Right.
are getting a leg up because of this great facility as well.
Right, right.
Now, Dr. Daniels, now let me explain to everybody, a podiatric surgeon is ankle and foot,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Correct.
That's something I learned today. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, how you became an ankle and foot surgeon.
Well, I'm Dr. Michelle Daniels. I was born and raised in Moultrie, Georgia. I've always kind of been interested in medicine. I initially thought that I wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon. And after doing a little bit of research, I realized that, I could do everything that I wanted to do by being a podiatrist, which is a foot and ankle surgeon, which means that I fix all aspects of the foot and ankle. So with that being said, I did my medical school training in New York City. I did residency in New York City. And once I was done, I wanted to come back a little bit closer to home. Like I said before, I'm originally from Moultrie, so I took a job at Douglas, and I actually performed surgery in Douglas, Fitzgerald, and Waycross. And when I found out about this wonderful facility that they have here at Moultrie Area Technical College, I was completely surprised because it's such a wonderful state-of-the-art facility, considering that I've been all over the United States training in different cadaver facilities or surgical facilities like this. This is by far one of the top 5 facilities in the United States. So to have it so close and easily accessible was extremely wonderful. And not only that, to be able to have the ability to work with the surgical tech students to allow them to be able to see some of the latest and greatest technology that is being done, as well as allow them to be able to work with surgeons before they actually get into the OR, into a real surgical situation, for them to get a feel of how things are done and how it goes.
Well, so tell us, when you have done training actually in this facility.
Yes.
So when you were here, what specifically were you working on that day?
Specifically, we were working on what you call an intermedullary nail, and what that was is a IM rod that fuses the foot to the ankle for those patients that have severe arthritis or who've had severe deformity of the foot and ankle.
Wow, okay. So Sherry, you mentioned all different types of, so you've mentioned shoulder replacements before. We see the students back here are working on an actual foot. Other things that you might see in here.
We could actually bring general surgeons in if there are new techniques that are being used for abdominal and general surgery. Also, any new techniques for your maxillofacial surgeons that do surgery like jaw surgery, like people recognize as jaw surgery. But certainly also your GYN surgical procedures. There are new things that are being changed about their surgical procedures. They could come in and get the training as well. So we actually have the ability to train all the different specialties that are included in surgery.
Wow. Now, Dr. Daniels, what would you say to other surgeons who are out there about this facility? How would you recommend that to them if you were on the phone with a colleague?
If I was on the phone with a colleague, I would say this by far is one of the top 5 facilities in the state, the only facility in the state of Georgia, but by far one of the top 5 facilities in the United States of America. And if you want to be in a training facility that has the capacity to allow you to do all the great things, see every aspect of the procedure, not only in what you're doing at the main station, but at all the additional stations, this would definitely be the place to come. And it's so easily accessible, and the staff and the students are wonderful.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Daniels. Thank you, Ms. King. If you have any questions about the Stat Lab, on the screen will be a website that will take you directly to anything you might want to know about the Stat Lab. So be sure to go there if you're interested, and you can also call us at 229-391-2600 for more information. Anything else, Ms. King or Dr. Daniels, that you want to tell us?
Just that we hope if you want to do some quality training, get in touch with us, and we'll be glad to get you set up.
That's right, and there's no place like it in the state of Georgia, and one of the only in the southeastern United States. So come see us, give us a call. We'll be glad to help you here get some training at our Stat Lab at Moultrie Technical College.